Shalom and welcome to Mitzvah Torah. This year's entitled, What Should One Do If They Don't Have Tissues or Cut Toilet Paper on Shabbat? So our Daf Yomi talks about, Pei Bet and Aleph, using a rock, which is what they used to do back in the day. We went to the previous year, they allowed muksa, because it's covered up briyot, the person's dignity, and certain times, certain specific times, they permitted a drabanan in order to keep a person's dignity. And there's actually a few different heterim here by a rock. They permitted muksa, to move the rock. Tircha, even if it means moving a few rocks up to a place high up and it's a hard thing to do, they permitted that as well. And certain halachas of carrying in a drabanan place, also when there's a real need, they permitted that. So we see three different permits over here in the case of kavod habriot, specifically if we're going to the bathroom. One should not generalize case to case. Well, okay, here there's a rabbinic isser, and it's not kavod for me right now. It's not. It's a compromised situation. I'll be lenient, and that's case by case. What about in the bathroom? There is no cut paper. A person is stuck. So post can bring down, and you bet, the Piskei Tshuva brings down a list of priorities what to do. Okay, but ideally just use other paper, not toilet paper. If someone would work to use other paper, even if there's, let's say, newspaper, if that would work, not so simple. But even if there's letters and you're going to be erasing, still that would be better than cutting. A person goes ahead and can ask a guy to bring. So it's an amir la'akum, it's a prohibition to ask a guy. But in this pressing situation, you can ask them to carry for you. Usually you ask them to carry in a rabbinic place. So it's a shvut, a rabbinic prohibition on a rabbinic prohibition for the sake of kavod habriyot. Another possibility is to go ahead and somehow cut the toilet paper with a shino, use your elbows. Another possibility, even before doing that last one, would be to go ahead and take the toilet paper and use it and just let it sit in the toilet. When you flush, it's going to cut it that way, but it's very indirect. So there's four possibilities that we mentioned. A person could use a paper with writing on a newspaper, if that would work, even though you're going to cause the erasing to happen. Asking a guy is another possibility. A third one would be to go ahead and just use the toilet paper into the toilet, and then mamela, it's going to get cut by the water when you flush it, and then finally to actually cut it yourself with the shina, with the change, so that brings it down to Rabbanan Isser, and for the sake of kavod habriyot. Of course, obviously, these four options that we're mentioning is but the evidence, a present situation, a person always should prepare before Shabbat, make sure they have open bags of tissues, or in terms of the safety of the toilet, some say tissues are not good, and it's better for the toilets like all week long to have cut toilet paper. That's a separate issue totally, but that would be the ideal. Of course, to have it already before Shabbat. Shalom.